Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of OSC News and Highlights. With me today, I have, as always, Mr. Eddie Edwards. Eddie, welcome back. And our guest for today is one of OSC Elite's own, Cham. How you doing, Cham?
I'm doing great, thank you.
So happy to be here, guys. Happy to have you here for another episode. Let me just fix these webcams. We haven't used the three-person overlay here in a bit, so I gotta adjust them really fast here. 1 second. There we go.
Oh my god, this is so laggy. Give me 1 sec.
All right, Cham needs a minute. He's running off the Wi-Fi, so he's gonna take a second to try to fix it. That's okay. But yeah, so welcome back, guys. We have got a good episode for you today, as always. We'll get started here in just one moment. Let me just make Cham a little bit bigger. There we go. All right, cool.
Hi, I'm back again.
All right, there we go. So we wanted to get started with a little bit of some OSC in-house news. So we wanted to mention something we didn't mention last week, but we want to make sure we got to it. That Draven will be stepping down from his regular casting to focus on his family. He just had a little girl who somehow he convinced his wife to name her Kerrigan. So he is truly dedicated to StarCraft. So, but he was one of the hardest working casters for OSC. So, Draven, thank you. You'll be missed, my dude, and good luck with everything. And we hope to have you back at some point.
Yeah, he was a superstar. He was one of the founding casters for our new Twitch channel, and so reliable, always helpful. He casted the OSC Melee Cups and the show matches every week for us, but unfortunately, full-time work, little baby girl, family, just moved house, I think, takes its toll. So understandable, but maybe we'll get him on for a few guest casts in the future. But yeah. big thanks to Draven.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot to handle, but like I said, hopefully we'll have him back. But let's hop right into some of the good stuff. So what we wanted to get started with right away is we had, we're almost done with the Leipzig qualifiers. The only ones I think that haven't been played so far are the Latin American ones, but everything else has been played for, so we know who's going to be there for that. So let's take a look at those brackets, or not the brackets, but let's see who's qualified so far. So we'll start with EU. So our qualifiers for EU are Elazer, Serral, Euthermal, and Nurcio in that order. I don't really think that's too much of a surprise. I mean, I think that's kind of like the usual suspects, right, as far as that goes.
Yeah, I think so. There's a lot of talent in Europe, and those guys are right up the top. I mean, he could have thrown in a few other names like Snoot, Showtime, some of these guys, Haaston maybe, but yeah, well deserved. It was great that I think Elazer had a breakthrough performance. I think Serral maybe had his number recently, so that was great to see. 3 Zergs and a Terran. Yeah, I like the group stage format this year.
Yeah,
I thought that was quite good. Anything that gives players more games and not knocked out straight away single limb sort of brackets is something you'd want to avoid. So I thought that was quite cool.
Now, is this the first time? I can't remember how it even was last year. Is this the first time that the top 4 were invited? Because last year, wasn't it just the top 2? They got to go. Do you remember?
I'm pretty sure Europe and NA have always had 4 players go to the WCS events seeded.
Okay. I couldn't remember exactly how it works. For some reason, it had felt a little bit different than last season's.
But last season, yeah, it was just a double limb bracket. And I remember, like, sometimes even the qualifying games in that may not have been casted or something like that.
This is so laggy.
You're still lagging?
Yeah, I will try to fix that.
Okay.
I will go to the main PC, but I will not have a camera, so just give me 1 second.
Okay, no worries.
Okay. His audio was fine for me anyway.
Yeah, he was fine for me, and the video was too, but apparently we were lagging for him, so that's okay.
Fair enough.
We'll get it figured out here. We'll get him back here in a second.
But it's probably not the end of the world for the European guys, since the first event is in Leipzig. so it's
yeah.
probably not too far to travel. Obviously, you'd love that top 32 start, but I'm pretty sure all the big names would get out of open bracket.
Right.
You'd hope.
Right. Let's look at the NA qualifiers too, because I think it wasn't surprising, but I think they were some really entertaining games. If you got a chance to watch these, and then one of our own obviously got through. So let's take a look here. So our qualifiers through NA were of course Neben Scarlet. I think that's always suspected, but nice to see Massa get through. He's someone that you can never count out, and there was a lot of good talent that got actually pretty far. And then True bringing up the rear, which I don't think that was too surprising. I think True's actually still playing from Korea, so maybe playing with a little bit of lag for the NA.
I think he's back in NA. Last I heard.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he's going to go to Philadelphia, so I think he's back in USA now.
Okay.
I'm not really sure.
I think he is now. I couldn't remember if he was during the qualifiers though.
Oh, I see.
So, but either way, obviously, like, it's kind of like the typical NA people. But we had some people that got pretty far. So, like in the quarterfinals, we had Puck made it through. Jon Snow, Semper. So we had really good players obviously make it through. Into those quarterfinals. So, but yeah, it was good games. But I think Massa and True obviously will show good games. For us at Leipzig. And then we also.
It's great that he'll be going to represent OSC Elite. Yeah. He hasn't been in the most sort of active and high-performing form at the moment, it's fair to say, but it was great that he could do that and really start warming up for the 2018 season. And he's got the OSC Championship coming up too, so like when he just practices for a day or something, he's right back to it. So yeah, he's always going to deliver. So
right. Let's take a look at our ANZ brackets. Probes either. I think that's that's pretty much the norm. But then yours qualifying. So Cam Foster playing for 1F qualified. So that's great for him to qualify. And then Notorious PIG, which is, if you don't know, Pig's younger brother, Noah. And this will be his first like major event. Qualifying and being at like a major event. So I think that's pretty cool.
It's only top 2 for ANZ that goes.
Oh, that's right. They only got 2 slots. But still, for him to come in 4th, though, it's still a really big accomplishment, I think, to make it all the way there, right?
Yeah. And a few seasons ago, Iagus was playing turn and he was qualifying for events here and there, but this time he's Zerg, so he isn't doing as well as with Zerg, but I think he's got a lot of potential. He's there in the chat talking with Demilab, trying to get better, so
yeah.
Maybe next season he will be at the top.
Yeah.
Yeah. He recently won the Probes Championship in December at playing a Zerg and beat some of these guys. But it wasn't a day for him on WCS on the weekend, unfortunately. But yeah, super impressed with Pig Jr. I mean, what a big couple of months for him in the ANZ Pro League and now top 4 WCS Challenger. That's massive. So it's really cool to see rising talent like that. And yours has been around for a long time, but it's really great to see him continuing to improve. And 3rd, so he's right there.
Right.
Hopefully he gets a chance this season. Unfortunately, I didn't get to watch or play in my local regional WCS this last weekend. I was actually at a wedding.
Oh wow!
It was 43 degrees Celsius, which is I think 110 Fahrenheit. So it was bloody hot.
That's
I was in the full suit and a bow tie and everything. So yeah, I missed out on watching the games, but I might check out the VOD because yeah, it'd be really sweet to see Big Juniors run in particular.
Yeah. I was the opposite of you last week, or for that I was negative 26 Fahrenheit here, so it was pretty damn cold. So obviously our seasons are opposite, but still, like, negative 26 is. I had to finally put the shorts away and put a coat on, put a jacket on. It was too cold.
It's 35 degrees Celsius here today, so it's going to be another hot one. So I've got the singlet on, and I've just come off a night shift, so I'm going to hope I can get some sleep in the heat. It's going to be tough. But,
yeah, man, you got to turn that fan on. But so yeah, so now we have the WESG Asian Pacific qualifiers, and I think these are how many qualifiers do we have left for this? I think they're all done except for this one. I think this is the last ones that we have.
And the NA, I think, as well.
Okay, NA still has it. Okay, this one's so weird because it's so spread out, like the times and everything. And you know, it's hard to keep track of like who's done what. But let's take a peek here at our groups. So again, and so this is for WSG for the Asia Pacific qualifier. So we have Group A Ranger, Illusory, who is one of us. So that's good. Maru, Dark. That's going to be a pretty tough group
Yeah.
to get out of. I think Group B is pretty interesting. Haas, Hut, Probe, Time, and Enterprise. I think that's actually a pretty hard one to predict. What do you guys think of that one?
Tough group.
What's that? Yeah.
I think Haas Probe and Time has the better chance. But this time they give 3 slots to Korea, right? Because I see Classic in Group C, whereas last year it was only 2.
Yeah, 3 slots for Korea.
And it's the top 3 players get out of the group, so a little bit of leeway there. And the top 12 from this actual event qualify for the main global finals, which is quite a large number, 12 out of 32. So a lot of these guys will probably qualify, which is cool, good for the region. You have to back the 3 Koreans, and then like our champ said, Probe and Haas, and you give someone like Mighty Kiwi and Ender, who's back. Nice. These guys would be the ones I'd be looking at.
Yeah, absolutely. For some of the for sure. It's kind of cool to see Ender back. I wonder how he'll do. I'm kind of excited to watch him play again.
He's been streaming a lot. I've seen on my Twitter feed, and so that's cool. He's probably back high GM. He was a superstar when he was playing.
Is he back with Psystorm?
I believe he will be representing them for the tournament. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Good for them. Good for him.
Don't quote me on it, but I believe I saw that somewhere.
Right.
Unfortunately for us, OSC Elite, Demi Love was supposed to be there. Demi was supposed to be there as well, but the visa didn't go through in time, so that was quite unfortunate.
He's got a hell of a time with visas.
He's had the worst run ever. Like, he does everything he can to qualify, and he often does. But it's always the visa process is so hard for him compared to maybe us Australians and Americans and NA guys. But on the other side of that, Blisk from Singapore was also supposed to attend, however, was unable to for, I think, residential reasons or something with his citizenship, which is unfortunate. But Illusory, he's taken his place from Singapore, the OSC 2IC and OSC Elite Manager. So we'll see how he can go.
Right.
That's a great experience for him. He's had a lot of practice, 300 tournaments in 2017. So let's see what he can do.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of good stuff.
I think he can get out of the group too, because it's top 3, and there's only 4 people in it. So
yeah, he just has to beat Ranger, really. So if he can beat Ranger, then he can get out. Because then it's Mario and Dark, and I don't think you're going to beat Mario or Dark.
Wow, what expectation is that?
Well,
you should aim for the top always.
Well, I mean, he'll obviously put up a fight, but realistically, look, all he has to do is beat Ranger to get out.
Yeah, that's true.
That's how I'm looking at it. I'm looking at the least path of least resistance. So we'll be cheering for him for sure. Moving forward, we also have GSL. Obviously, we've had our first 2 groups go through, which no one probably saw this, but I actually tweeted it at Artosis for Group A, and I was like, "Hey, who do you like for Group A?" And he's like, "Probably Solar." So I'm not saying that the Artosis curse is real, but the curse is real. Okay, like it's definitely a thing.
I saw the games.
Yeah. So, and the biggest surprise here, I'll pull up the bracket here so everyone can see here. But the biggest surprise was Lenok. Lenok he played like a bat out of hell. For someone who was considered to be semi-retired and not performing a lot, not doing a lot as of late. he played crazy, and obviously signing with that new Team Titan X1. I always believe that has something to do with it. Whenever someone signs with a new team, I always think that they play a little bit better.
Yeah, he played a little bit with weird stuff, like going to base Muta and those kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
So that tilted Solar off, and then he went like mind games with 3 hatch before pool, and then I think Solar was tilted or something. He wasn't played at his best, but yeah, I think Linok, I don't know, I think study him and make the right calls at the time.
Yeah, and then poor Creator, only winning the 1 game versus Solar. Creator's, he's at that level where he's been around forever. He's been playing since Wings of Liberty, but unfortunately he hasn't. I don't think he's been out of the round of 32 in the last 5 or 6 seasons.
Yeah.
So good enough to get there, but just has a hard time getting out. I think he gets. They were saying during the cast that he gets really nervous when he's up there on the main stage in Korea.
He shouldn't be. He's got a lot of experience.
You would think, but I don't know what it is, because you can kind of. I think it's the pressure.
He has been champion before, no?
What's that?
He has been a champion before, no?
I don't think so.
Oh.
I will double check here 1 second. He won Team Liquid Star League number 4.
I think he was like super good in Wings of Liberty, and then he just claims down.
In 2012, he won WCS Korea Nationals. That wasn't GSL, but he did come first place in that, beating Squirtle. So he's by no means has like low accomplishments, but that was 2012, so it's been a long time since he's had like major accomplishments. But he's a really avid streamer. I mean, he streams almost every single day, and you'll see him play really great people. He's much more comfortable streaming, I think, when he plays at home versus just there. I think it's just the added pressure of being up there. But it's always just disappointing, because I know he plays really well. You see him beat really good people on the stream, so it's kind of sad when someone's, you can watch them beat the best people on stream, but then when it comes to the tournaments, you're only winning 1 game. So, but it is what it is. Taking a look at the next group, which just happened last night. Unfortunately, sort of came out last, but in the very first game when he played SOS, he actually beat SOS pretty convincingly. After I recommend everyone go back and watch that game. He played really, really well. But obviously SOS getting out first, Deer getting out second, and BL coming third with sort of coming in last. I had high hopes, but I mean, it kind of seemed like that might have been what was going to happen.
Yeah, I didn't think Deer was going to do well. I thought Bill could have done better.
Yeah.
But the Protoss dominate that day. I didn't saw the games, but
yeah, I had predicted that I think the Deer actually would come out just because of how well Protoss is doing right now and stuff, and he's actually been playing really, really well. But I think BL played pretty poorly, and then obviously sort of only looked super solid in that first game, and that being the the only game that he won for that set. But he still looked really good. I mean, obviously, like, this is the first time that he's ever qualified for GSL. So I mean, regardless, I think he's happy just to have qualified. I think that's amazing. To be able to progress and obviously come up to that level.
And even though the WCS doesn't count in our region, I think it does count for sitting in the next WCS stops. So that's still good for him.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, so obviously good games. And the next one obviously will be on the 13th. I'll show you that bracket as well. So it's going to be Rogue, Billowy, Scarlet, and Alive. So we'll have another opportunity for Foreigner. I think Scarlet has a really good chance of getting out. I think that's kind of the going to be the Zerg group.
She's very high on the Korean ladder. I think he can beat Billowy and Alive. I don't know about Rogue, but she's got a pretty good chance to get second place.
Yeah, I think so too. So I know that pretty much everyone that isn't in Korea is going to be cheering for Scarlet to get through it, because everyone always loves the foreigners to get into GSL.
Yeah, let's go. Turn off your skins and let's go.
Yeah. So hopefully she'll play with sound this time too, right? So she won't die to some nukes. So
that was the thing last time, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, I talked.
She missed out by one map. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, who is she playing? I think she was playing Innovation too, and she was She was playing really well, and then he started. I don't know if he knew that she wasn't playing with sound, but he got it with a couple of nukes, which obviously she couldn't hear it. So definitely, whether he knew it or not, he definitely took advantage of the fact that she couldn't hear anything. So, but apparently she's been kind of training with it and getting used to having the noise in her ears. So hopefully that won't happen again. We won't see something like that happen.
Yeah, it could be annoying to play with that.
Yeah. Moving on, we do have we'll do a review because we did have our OSC championship review. We already did Group A, so let's take a look starting here with Group B. So we had a Scarecrow, Hero, Kellizer, Shauna, and TLO. Hero obviously getting out, not dropping one map, 10-0.
Wow.
Followed up by Alive, who went 7-3, and TLO going 6-4. So pretty good. I think you could flip flop TLO or Kellizer, in that. I mean, you kind of expect one or the other to kind of come in third with this group, I think.
Yeah, well, Closer took a break after the holidays, so he's been playing as great.
Mm-hmm.
But he's still pretty good. He can catch up in a few weeks, I think.
Yeah.
But I don't know his condition right now because tomorrow is the Leipzig qualifiers for Latin America. So I guess it's good for me, but I want him to see him at the top again too.
Right. Group C, we had Laser not dropping a map, going 10-0. Beyond going 8-2 and Rainer going 5-5. So kind of a little bit of a closer group with Lily Kanine coming in fourth, going 5-5 as well. So kind of a little bit closer, but it's good for Rainer obviously since he's this is like one of the biggest tournaments that he can basically play in because of age restriction. So it's always good to see him kicking ass and taking names here.
He's 6.9k in MMR in Europe. He's very high.
He's really fucking good.
Kid's got skill. If you've been listening to Wardy over the last few days, he'll tell you that the series Reina versus Beyond was one of the best he's casted in the last month or something. That was insane. The results will tell you there it was Beyond 2-0, but it was really close, long, good games. Probably check them out on Wardy's channel, or you can get the replay pack off the Maturino site. A laser 10-0, he beat Beyond pretty convincingly, but they were sort of like cheesy games by Beyond. So, and Rainer Lillikanen went down to the last tiebreaker. So,
right,
a bit unlucky for Lillikanen, but
someone had to win, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's great. It came down to the last series, so
yeah,
good for some, not good for others. But that's the way it goes. It's cutthroat. Top 50 players, only the best advance on the day. So.
Right. And then finally, Group D, we had Jon Snow get through 9-1, Keen go 6-4, and then Masa go 6-4. So another good group as well. I think it's cool to see Jon Snow on top and beating Keen out for first place. Obviously, an A player.
Yeah, Keen only qualified on the last series of the day. He needed to 2-0 Masa, and he did. Otherwise, it might have been Cass getting through, who played quite well as well, 5-5. And Pili came back and did quite a few cheeses. And your boy, Cicada now, formerly Volts, unfortunately lost in quite a few macro games, but put up a good showing. Unfortunately, 1-9, but yeah, good games all around.
Yeah, he's been playing a little off center as of late. He was home for a couple of days, so he was playing with being around people and not being like with his main computer at school and stuff. So he was kind of saying even during like WCS qualifiers, it was kind of affecting him a little bit, just not playing in his normal conditions and in his normal space. So, but yeah, it is what it is. I mean, we always when the guys play like that, I always tell them to just make sure you're learning from that, seeing what's happening and figuring out, what happened and then always just getting over it. I don't like to have them sit in the past and think on past results. I like them always be looking forward.
That's where success and improvement comes from. What do you think of the name change?
So well, it was because of like I guess his Volts was like an acronym for like the friends he hung out with, but he wasn't hanging out with one of them anymore, so he didn't want to have his name be that anymore. So yeah, he did a name change to Cicada. I don't know if you guys do you know what a cicada is.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
Okay.
they're bloody annoying.
Yeah, and like we were looking it up. Like I was talking with one of the other players about this, and like it's super. They're super weird. They live underground, and they come above ground like once every like it was. I think it was like 14 years. They like come up from underground, and they're like super loud. Like they can like damage your hearing if they get too close to your ear, and they like make their like their noise or whatever, their call. So it's a super weird insect. But I don't know, but maybe that's just because like Zerg is like are like bugs, and like they burrow, so maybe that's kind of where he got that from. I'm not for sure. I haven't actually asked him why he chose that name yet. I'm kind of curious myself.
Maybe he got 6 new friends. Could have been.
Yeah, I just came up with new acronym. Got a couple new friends.
He's got an insect as a friend.
But let's take a look.
Hopefully, we don't have to wait 14 years for him to have a breakthrough result, though.
Right, that's what I was kind of hoping as well. It's like, well, let's not have that be how that.
I think he'll have a really good year, though. In NA Challenger Series, he's one to watch. So yeah, name change and all.
Yeah, we've got high hopes for him this year. So I think you will definitely see him at Cheesadelphia, as well as Austin and hopefully Montreal this year. We're working on getting his passport right now. So hopefully we'll see him at a couple of the major NA events at least, and we'll see if we can't get him qualified for maybe even Valencia. Who knows? Maybe he'll replace Massa next time. We'll have to see. Might need a little bit of bracket luck, but I think that would be a cool opportunity for him.
And there's 2 NA WCS events. Maybe he can try open bracket if he doesn't qualify.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Cool.
For sure, we're gonna we'll for sure be in Austin as a team, and then we'll also be in Montreal for sure as well. So, but if he can qualify, that's even better. It just saves me money. So I'm all for that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all for saving money. Let's take a look at the brackets here for the finals here, or what is it?
We can do the playoff round.
Playoff round.
Yep.
Playoff round.
Yeah, so that's the top 3 players from each group. They face off. They're matched up 1-1 to determine the 6 who advance to the final championship bracket. So stage 2 of 3.
So our final advancing players are Hero, Beyond, Massa, Ethermal, Impact, and Rainer. So, and you can see the matches here below. Ethermal beating TLO 3-0. Hero beating Jim Rising 3-0. Impact beating Alive 3-1. Massa actually beating Laser. I think that's probably one of the bigger surprises. Massa beating Laser 3-2. Rainer beating Jon Snow 3-1. And then Beyond beating Keen 3-0.
Yeah, a couple of 3-0s. They're a little bit surprising. Beyond Keen was a rematch from last year's grand final in the championship, actually. Keen had a sick run last year. Unfortunately, eliminated at this stage this year. But yeah, Massa, that was huge. Eliza fresh off winning the EU Challenger that we talked about. So big upset, you would have to say.
Right. So then we actually have the lower bracket matchups, right? Like that now we have those officially now.
Yes. So we can announce the players that will join in the lower bracket, those winners. The lower bracket players ranked 21 to 26 this year were able to choose the opponent from the playoff round. That was a new addition. So we'll go through that now. Who picked who, and have a look.
So I've got it up if you wanna go ahead and start.
Yeah, so Nurcio was ranked 21 in the OSC World Rankings, and he has selected Massa as an opponent.
Interesting.
So yeah, maybe he wants to get a bit of revenge for his countryman, Eliza. So he selected the Terran opponent, Massa, there. The next seed was Azur, the Australian Terran, and he has chosen Raynor, TVZ. Next was Game Time, rising NA talent. He has chosen Impact, the big name Korean Zerg in huge form. But I believe if we go back to last year's championship, if I'm not mistaken, Game Time took him down, I think. So quite confident ZVZ, as he should be. So we'll have to see how that goes. All these matches are best of 5 in the lower bracket, by the way. Next was B-Lord. He chose Euthermal. B-Lord was super active in the first half of the year and was in really good form. So it'll be interesting to see if he's been practicing and might be able to take it up to the probably the number 1 Terran EU, you'd have to say.
Yeah, definitely.
And then the last player who had a choice was Siegfried, who chose Bjorn, the reigning OSC champion.
Wow.
He chose that PVT. So that'll be a tough opponent. But then probably the hardest one, the one no one wanted to choose, was Hero, and he gets matched up with Cyan, the Chinese Protoss. So that'll be PvP best of 5. So maybe Cyan can have a few tricks and put on a good series there. Yeah. So all these guys now in the championship bracket, lower bracket elimination. No more lives left.
Yeah, that's getting stuck with Hero is definitely you're drawing the short end of the stick on that one.
And I guess if we're looking at it, that'll put Beyond and Hero on the same side of the lower bracket, so potentially meet up. But we've also got players from the upper bracket ranked 21 to 20th in the OSC World Rankings. Some of them are going to be knocked down as well, who might be able to put up a good showing against these lower bracket players. Yeah. So pretty stacked names. Cham is up there. Cham gets to take a few days off, put his feet up. He was rank 1 in the OSC rankings throughout the whole year, so he's probably only going to have to play the last day. So he's got a really good seed. Well deserved.
Yeah, seeded right into the round of 5, so just taking it easy. But yeah, I think this is going to be a pretty interesting bracket. I think we're definitely in for some good games. I think Probe versus Seethers one to watch. Obviously, that's a big ANZ rivalry there. Yeah. True Solar. Yeah, True Solar I think is another one. A good Korean rivalry.
I think the most wanted for me is that I want to see Nurture versus Massa, because I will play Massa in Philadelphia probably. So okay. I want to see how Nurture does it, because the laser didn't had enough.
Yeah, good little preview for Cheese then. It's that's good forward thinking there.
And then if Massa beats Nurture, I'm like, Eddie, I'm not going to Philadelphia.
Right.
I just paid for your ticket, mate. What are you doing?
Oh, you have to go. There's no choice.
Of course. I'm just kidding. I will beat him for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, so those will be played over the next couple of days.
Next 4 days on Wardy's channel and OSC Esports. The casters will be Wardy, of course, Azilis, Maynard, and Zombie Grub for this championship bracket. Top 32 players now. We're getting to the serious stage.
Awesome. And then
we have also. Sorry, you go.
No, I was just gonna say we have that Matcherino coupons are up for that, so you can use coupon OSC17 on the Matcherino page. Which last week I showed everyone how to use and how quick it was to actually do it, because I just did it live. So I'll send the link here in the chat for it. Oh, you already got it. There we go. And then yeah, just use code OSC17, and you can donate $1 towards that. Prize pool right now is $4,469.
Yeah, so it's got a $10,000 base, obviously, plus any donations that are raised. Matcherino, so easy. It's a great system. Takes 15 seconds to use a coupon. Check out the page as well. We've got some cool rewards, such as, if you want a tournament named after you, we can run an official OC tournament. Got replay packs, coaching, jerseys, a lot of cool stuff there. Take a look. Anything that's purchased obviously goes towards supporting the tournament and boosting that prize pool. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, guys, we're going to take just a little break here. So we'll be back here after about 3 minutes. We're going to run and grab a drink real quick. So we'll be back with you soon, though. So yeah, enjoy this nice commercial. All right, guys, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that little commercial break we took. But yeah, so finally, the last part of the show here as we start winding down. So we have what's new for 2018. So we have some new stuff. This is exclusive. This is the first time you're going to hear about it. So anyone who's in the chat, you can feel included. So Eddie, right? There's going to be a couple new tournaments for this year.
Yeah, there certainly will be. While the OSC season ended in December, all the team have been hard at work planning for 2018, and this is what we've come up with. Do you want to say the name and I'll tell a bit about it?
Yeah. So the first one is, what is it? Centimio Latino.
That's right.
What? Not right?
I don't know. Champ, you know how to say it?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't speak Spanish.
It's not in the chat, isn't it? Can you put it in the chat to read it?
Sure.
Sentimiento
Latino.
Sentimiento Latino. That sounds like a tournament for us, right?
Yeah.
It certainly does, my friend. It certainly does. This is a name Jim Rising came up with. If I'm not mistaken, it means Latin feeling or something like that.
Dude,
Yeah.
I like Taco Cup better. I think he should just stick with that.
Well, no, that he's still going to be doing the Taco Cups, but
okay.
this new tournament, the Sentimentino Latino, is going to be a new weekly Latin American only tournament we're going to be running. Yeah, so it's just going to have a starting prize pool, starting small, $25 a week, Latin American only for residents and citizens. It's going to be running on Friday night NA time at a good time for the Latin American community. We've been working with some community leaders to find the right sort of fit at the time. So thanks to them for that. The catch to this tournament, though, is it's only going to be for players who haven't made a round of 16 in a WCS Premier event. So unfortunately, I think that rules out Cham, Special, and Calazor. I don't think I'm missing anyone, but we'll double check that. Reason is that we want to give
Jim Rising
those.
can play.
Jim Rising can play. I think Jim Rising can play. There's some good competition though. I think just off the top of my head, guys like Eric, Jarpy, and we want to promote the rising talent in that region.
B-Lord.
B-Lord, yeah, there's quite a few. Probably that tier below. That's what we're looking at, and the new talent.
That's pretty sick.
We mentioned it last week in the last OSC news and highlights. How much Latin America and NA are a big part of OSC and participation. Brazil was actually the second highest country of participants, and then you throw in everybody else: Mexico, Peru. Anything Argentina. It's a huge area, so we're looking forward to that and putting on a tournament for those guys. So hopefully, people want to play, and without the big dogs in it, they might have a chance. Obviously, OC points and OC rewards and everything like that. So, yeah, thanks to the Latin American guys who have helped us develop this, Jim Rising in particular. So looking forward to that, and Just Jordan will be the regular caster of this every Friday. So yeah, going to be on this channel, OC Esports. So that's one new tournament we'll be doing.
Cool stuff. We also have the Platy Pro Weekly, so that's kind of an interesting take on some like the pro amateur scene.
Yeah, so this is a new tournament organized by Nistic, the NAGM Zerg player. First edition was last week, and there will be another one this week before the OSC season starts up, so it'll be two into it. I think the way he set it up is that it's open to any player around the world who has less than $8,000 in career earnings. So obviously the pro amateur threshold is trying to find the right mix of the guys who haven't been collecting all the dollars.
Right.
Again, it sort of goes back to that rising talent and that next level just below. So yeah, another great thing for I guess NA really, because that's the time zone, but it is open to anyone who wants to play. So really cool to see one of the region's own players step up and start running a tournament. So we'll be happy to work with him on this, and again offer OSC points and rewards on a weekly basis.
Yeah, Very cool, very cool. Obviously, I'll be able to play in that. I probably will, because I have less than $8,000 career earnings. I have.
Yeah, go for it.
I think I've got $10 career earnings, because I won.
Which one
I,
is that tournament?
I won a $10 bronze, silver, gold a long time ago.
Wow,
when I
amazing.
was really bad. So, but yeah, $10. That's hey. Some people have never made any money. I've at least made $10. But then we also have another new one, the weekly wager. So why don't you tell us a little about that, Eddie?
Yeah, so this is something we're going to try, weekly wages. So with this, players can have bet their OSC points similar to a challenge match, a show match. Entry will be 5 OSC points, right? And then we've got a distribution of the total pot. Obviously, first gets 50%, then I think it's 20% for second. And then we're also going to be throwing in some money. So we're going to be throwing in $100 a month. And that'll be going to the players with the most points. So I think it's top 4. All these new tournaments and stuff in our schedule we'll be putting up on Team Liquid and SC2 online within the next couple of days. And that'll show the full breakdown and all the details. But yeah, bet your OSC points, very low entry. So we want to encourage everyone. Pretty much if you play in an OSC tournament, 1 or 2, you'll be able to play in this each week. It is a risk, but it's free to play really if you've got the points. And we have so many players with points. So yeah, another new way to earn points.
Seems low risk, high reward potentially.
Yeah, that's the way we've set it up. The OSC team, we're obviously trying to find the right balance, and we've set a pretty low entry point wise. So you're not going to lose out too much if you do, obviously don't come first or top 8 or whatever.
Right.
To run this tournament though, we're going to need 8 players a week, which I think will hit. So
I think so.
Yeah, there's $100 on the line and points. Like people,
it'll be packed then. if there's money and points, it'll be full every week.
That's the thing now. OSC keeps growing. Players are paid to play an OSC tournament, so yeah, I'm pretty sure we'll get some players turn up.
Absolutely. And then lastly, we have Challengers Cup.
Yes, Challengers Cup. This is also another test, another new format that we're going to be trying. Challengers Cup. This tournament will have $1 entry.
Wow.
Well, an entry price, $2.50 entry. $2.50 entry with a base prize pool of $50 per week. Excuse me. With also money put into the top players at the end of the month as well. I think that's $100 off the top of my head, but that'll be it. We'll go over the details when it's written down. I'm just sort of running off memory at the moment, but yeah, small entry, and you get a bit of the pot. Obviously, we have the probably first and second, and then we'll have a monthly payout as well for those players who are most active in this. Again, requires what I think our total minimum is 8 players, which I think we'll get. I mean, I would expect OSC elite players to play in this, and would reimburse them. I think teams would be willing to do that for $2.50, which if you play in 4 a month, if my math is right, that's only $10 max. So yeah, and it goes back to the players. We're not taking a cut of this. So yeah, that's another new model we're going to try. So another new weekly tournament.
No, that's a lot of good stuff. I'm excited for all of these. Really, just obviously it's just gonna even out the schedule throughout the week. With this between, this and everything else that's going on as far as tournaments wise, WCS and everything else. Seems like every day of the week there's gonna be something worthwhile to watch on Twitch for StarCraft content. So it's gonna be a good year, and I can't wait.
Yeah, well, we run I think 60 plus OSC tournaments a month, so we're throwing in some of these new ones as well. So StarCraft all the time, and a lot of it on this channel, but obviously a lot of partnered events elsewhere as well. With that said, some changes, some things are going on break. The OSC All-Stars event for C, China, Taiwan, and NA is going on break for a while to try these new formats. The $1,000 Masters Cups, there won't be one in the first 2 weeks of the season. Reason being is that there's WCS and Cheesadelphia back to back, so it's going to be really hard to schedule around that. And we got to, obviously players will be traveling, and it's really hard to find a time slot. So that'll either come back straight after that, or likely it might be on hold for another 2 to 4 weeks as we want to conclude the OSC Team Championship for the top 12 teams and clans. And we're going to need a time slot to put that in. So it'll likely be around that time. So yeah, that'll be on hold for 2 to 6 weeks, but it will be coming back. $1,000 Masters Cups twice a month, just with a delayed start. What else do we have? Oh, our Brood War, StarCraft Remastered Open. That's going to be on hold while we look for another slot, because the new Latin American Weekly is going to be in that time. That's the best time for the Latin American guys, so we hear. So unfortunately, SCR gets bumped, but we'll try and find somewhere to put it.
Awesome. Yeah, a lot of good stuff, obviously. So we have the players' bounties will still be a thing, right? We're not going away from bounties.
Does the bounties reset, or they stay the same?
Bounties, the players with bounties on them can change throughout the year. We update that based on activity and form and everything like that. If you've still claimed a bounty or have a great record against that person, it doesn't reset itself, so you can't claim a bounty ever twice, if that's what you mean, unfortunately. But bounties will be back, and bounties will be open to all regions, all WCS circuit regions, shall I say. So that will now be open to European players as well. So that's a change on 2017. So Europe guys, start hunting, get your bounties.
Awesome. Participation changes then? Anything for that?
Yeah, with some massive changes. So we've previously had participation prizes for the top players of each region. You got your C, Europe, Korea, NA, Latin America, and China. They've all had prizes for like the top 6 to 8 players every 6 months. We're now cutting that completely. But we are not getting rid of participation incentives. We are going to be offering flights and accommodation to events around the world, WCS events, Cheesadelphia, Storm Cups, Probe Lands, whatever you like. We're going to be doing that twice a year.
Okay, that's cool.
As well as offering dollar prizes as well. So if I can just go over this here. So we're going to be offering like a lottery system based on how many tournaments, OSC partner tournaments you play. If you play, say, 1 tournament, you're going to get 1 point in the lottery. If you play in 20, you might get 2, all the way up to like 100. The more you play, the more tokens you get in the lottery.
Right.
Everybody's got a chance, but of course you can increase your chance
by playing more.
And play more.
That's cool. I think that's exciting.
This is going to be open to anyone. Maybe you're not on a team. We're going to fly you and pay for your accommodation to a WCS event. If you play in the OSC tournaments, your chance to win.
I will be top
I think this is pretty cool. If you are on a team and you do win, I think it's fair enough if you want to pass it on to somebody else, or however you want to arrange it. We can work that out. But yeah, this has to be a StarCraft event, mind you. We're not going to fly you to the Dota International or something.
What? Come on! Like I really wanted to go to the Boston A-League. Come on, Eddie.
Yeah. So at the moment, the plan, of course, this is a trial year. We're going to be doing it the first 6 months. We're going to have a lottery draw for, I think, at the end of June. And then we're going to do another one at the end of December. and the winner is able to select where they want to go. Obviously, we'll work with them
What about Korea?
if they want to go to Korea, or Koreans can play.
No.
Either is
What if I wanted to go to GSL? Would you pay for that or no?
yes, of course.
Okay,
Oh, that will be good.
that would be cool.
I don't know if we could like do it for the 2 weeks or whatever. We could get you there and let you try and qualify,
Right,
but we wouldn't pay for accommodation for a month, sort of thing.
right.
This is more aimed around your sort of weekend WCS events.
Yeah, of course.
We'll do the flights, we'll do the accommodation, we'll do the entry ticket. We're not gonna probably pay you for 6 months in Korea, sort of thing, but
Gotcha.
you can try. It doesn't hurt to ask, but that's where that's set up. So we're going to write all this out, all the conditions and everything like that. As well, that'll be the first place prize, and there will be cash prizes as well. So we're going to keep the draw going. If you get second place, third place, fourth prize, or at least second and third, maybe $150, $100, $50 sort of thing.
Yeah, I know. That's,
So, yeah.
that's awesome. And then
Anyone has a chance.
Sweet. And then lastly, we have some OSC prizes for the Twitch community too, right?
We sure do. How does flights to WCS and accommodation sound?
Sounds good too.
That's what we're going to do. We're going to try and build the OSC Esports Twitch community. Anyone who supports the channel through Twitch subscribing, we're going to have a similar scale. So,
Nice.
sort of 1 point for a sub. I think, what do they do? $10, $25. We'll have like maybe 3-5 points. And that's going to be run over the year though, not 6 monthly.
So can they do that through the Matcherino then as well? Like if they donate through Matcherino for OSC tournaments, so they get points for that?
Probably not through Matcherino. That's going to be
Okay.
a bit harder to track because we have so many tournaments. It's more about the actual community on the Twitch and growing our channel.
Right.
The community around that. So yeah, if you're not a player, you've ever wanted to go to a WCS event, we're going to give you the full OSC Elite experience. We're going to fly you there. You can get a hangout with the team. We're going to, if you want to play, we'll pay for your ticket. We'll give you a jersey. Hang out with the guys. Yeah, so it's going to be the full OSC Elite experience. A great prize for a fan and supporter of the channel.
Absolutely. That's really cool.
Again, it'll be like a lottery, so maybe you only have to sub once, you could win. I don't, off the top of my head, I don't think any Twitch stream have done something like this. Maybe they have in other sports, but I think it's worth a good try. We really do appreciate all the support our community give, especially to our new channel. We've only been going 3 months, but we've already, hit some nice milestones and Twitch partnered and everything. So that's going to be really cool. And in addition to that, where are we? We're also going to be giving out OSC Elite jerseys, similar to the player prizes where you have the big prizes, the flights, and then you've got the cash prizes.
Right.
We're going to have, sort of second, third OSC Elite jerseys, as well as like 6 monthly free subscription on us, that sort of thing. So a lot of rewards for helping support the channel. We're going to have all this written up, don't worry. So I'm a bit tired at the moment. I've had a long day, long night shift.
Yeah,
but,
man. No worries.
it'll be all written up. So a lot of great things to come if you're a player and if you are just a fan, if you want to support us, help us grow StarCraft. Every year growth on OSC, we're doing our bit for the community. We appreciate those that help us. So we want to put out some fun things and continue to work together to grow the sport. So, yeah.
No, that's awesome.
That's some big things.
Back. Yeah.
So that's at least 3 flights and accommodation on offer this year. Depending on the reception, like maybe we can increase that at the mid-year point, but that's the plan for this year. That's in the budget. We've set that up. And then maybe next year even bigger. We'll see how it goes. So yeah, I'm quite excited about this.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm excited for whoever gets it, just for that opportunity to go to an event and have it be paid for, and like you said, that team experience. I think that's something that's really, really cool. I think this is going to work out really well.
Yeah, I mean, if you put this on a different model, like maybe you do another sport, like it's like be with the New York Yankees for a weekend sort of thing, fly to the game, be
Right.
with the team, hang out with those guys. So it's like that sort of experience we're trying to put out there. So yeah, hopefully there's a few interested parties, I'm sure. Like
Oh, definitely.
you got a chance. It's a lottery. Anyone could win.
Yeah, just gotta play some tournaments, get your entries in.
Yeah,
So-
and we'll be quite transparent with how the draw's done and
Right.
keeping track of everybody and things like that. So
Right.
yeah.
All right, well, let's get everything wrapped up. We did have one community question here from Taryn Lord. Has getting partner changed the way you guys are looking at plans for this year?
Well, maybe what we just talked about will answer
Kind of
some of that.
rolled right in there, didn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, obviously we can try and build around this channel and the community, grow it for the OSC brand. Obviously, we do so much more outside of this channel, but yeah, we want to try and grow that. As I mentioned, we're recently Twitch partnered, so hopefully that can help with a bit of promotion and work with Twitch and do a few things there, and just generate more viewers towards StarCraft. You know, get people watching.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, just simple things like the little bit of extra ad revenue, like that's just something that wasn't planned for, you know. That doesn't hurt, you know, extra $1 a day or whatever it may be. It's going to add up that we can reinvest into tournaments and just put it all back into StarCraft, really. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I guess it's opened more possibilities than have been there in previous years, and new ideas that we can come up with, and yeah, just looking forward to what can come next year.
Yeah, absolutely.
It doesn't take away us supporting events off the channel as well. We support so many partner streams on other things, but yeah, this is just a hub that we want to do at least daily content on this channel itself. So
right.
And we do want to get emotes, as they point out in the chat.
Yeah.
Some probably more talented guys can create that than myself. Maybe I could do something on MS Paint, but we'll get someone on that.
We should definitely get the OSC globe, right? Like that should be like the staple.
Oh, for sure. That would be the
staple.
basic. Like you can see that on the Twitch here. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's sort of like our brand, and on the OSC Elite jerseys.
Exactly. Well, yeah, we learned a lot of new stuff about 2018 for OSC, guys. So there's a lot of good stuff to come. So don't be afraid to share the news with your friends. Obviously, we'll get the links to the video up. We'll get this posted up to the YouTube as soon as possible. So, but spread the news about all this great stuff that you just heard.
Yes. So season 2018 actually starts in 5 days, I think. Sunday NA time, Monday my local time, Australia, New Zealand, and Europe. So that's when all the rankings will reset, and we'll have all the player prizes begin. So get your OSC points, get everything like that. Start collecting those lottery points, and we can start the stream prizes right now. We're gonna probably have that up at least by the end of the weekend. So if you want to support the channel and get in early, please go for it. But if not, any time throughout the year, it would be appreciated. OSC championship next 4 days. That's going to be huge. Top 32 players now, and then we're going to start right again in 2018 in a couple of days. So, right back to it.
Yeah, lots of great stuff. Good. So, guys, thanks for watching. We really appreciate everyone being here with us. Cham, thanks for hanging out with us and being on the show. Eddie, as always, it's always great to have you with me.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys. Well, we'll see you live. Eddie, what do you think? 2 weeks for the next show? End of the month? Or what are we thinking for the next one?
Yeah, probably in a couple of weeks. We'll let the dust settle on the championship. We'll let a few tournament results start rolling in, and then we'll do one. Excellent. And we'll have all these new changes written down so we can pull that up and you can read it better than I can describe it at the moment. So look forward to that.
There we go. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. And we'll see you again in a couple of weeks. So take care and have a good night.
Thank you, guys.